Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I am talking about The Midnight Exhibit, Volume 1. This is from, let's double check, Unnerving, and this is number 1 in the Rewind or Die series. Now this is written by Stephen Graham Jones, Philip Fracassi, and Renee Miller. And I'm unclear, excuse me, on the copyright page, it has Eddie Generous, so I'm assuming he's the editor, and may have written the wraparound for this little book. This is an anthology that follows the formula of, say, old Hammer films, where we start with this couple they've left a party, they've crashed their car because they've been drinking, a tow truck driver, or a tow truck with a mysterious driver, stops, pulls their car out of a ditch, they jump into the cab of his truck, he's going to take them to a garage, apparently, and he regales them with these 3 stories. So I don't know if Eddie Generous is the person who wrote the wraparound part, because the 3 authors I mentioned wrote the actual 3 stories that are being told. But it's unclear, to me anyway, about the rest of it. So anyway, as I said, we have this couple, crash car, tow truck driver, weird looking, he's got stitches. He looks like this, basically. Picks them up. They're kind of bickering. They're drunk. He starts to tell them these stories. So the first story is by Stephen Graham Jones. It is titled Too Little Too Late. And this is about a high school kid. And there's been 3 people have gone missing from his high school. Most recently, this young woman. The cops are questioning people. And he has nothing to say. But he does remember the last time he saw this missing girl. She was in this crowd that was playing with, I don't remember what they're called. I think he calls it something, but those paper things that you open them up, you pick a number, and you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you open the flaps and see, it's supposed to predict your future, different things. So he remembers seeing her playing with that, and then he finds one, believes it's hers, looks at it, it's all mysterious, weird stuff starts happening. He throws it away, crumples it up, throws it away, and then finds it again, and it's not crumpled up. And so obviously it's involved in whatever's going on. And it's a pretty creepy story. Excuse me. And so, and it turns out that the main character has the same name as the son of the couple that's in the truck. Ooh. So then we go back to the couple in the truck, and the mom is trying to, trying to call her son because she's kind of freaked out by the story, and the husband is looking at some woman, I think leaving woman leaving a bar, and he's, ooh, check out the hottie, being all, creepy. And so that leads into the next story, which is called Another Pretty Face by Renee Miller. And I really dig this story a lot. It's hard to describe without giving anything away. But it's about a guy, super handsome, high-powered, executive type who treats women like shit. And he gets his comeuppance in a way that I can't tell you. I don't want to give it away. Just it's definitely a tale of cosmic justice or karma, I suppose. And it's very good. I really like this story a lot. I like the way it's written, the way the characters are written, the plot devices that are used. But yeah, it's really good. So then we go back to the tow truck, The mom is still trying to call her son, and both people are maybe sobering up a little bit and wondering why it's taking so long for them to just get to town into a garage where their car can be fixed. And then the next story, which is, where is it? My Love, Do Not Wake by Philip Fracassi. I apologize, I don't know how to pronounce Philip's last name. And this one is even more difficult to talk about because, well, let's see. I think I can tell you this much without really giving the whole story away. It's being told by this woman, and she talks about how she's talking about the night or the day that she fell in love with Martin. I think is the name. So I'm flipping through. Where is it? Oh, I went too far. All right. Talk amongst yourselves. Here we go. Yes, Martin. So she's talking about the night or the time she fell in love with Martin. So she's married to Henry, I believe it is. Yes. And she's not really satisfied in her marriage. And super hot summer, her husband decides to shave his head, and there's a face on the back of his head that starts talking to our narrator, and his name is Martin. And so this is the catalyst for the rest of the story. And it's another one it's interesting. The dynamics, the mechanics of it are interesting. Excuse me. How one would be in love with a face on the back of their spouse's head and keep it a secret. And it's a creepy, interesting, weird story. And then, so we have that. And then we go back to the tow truck and we get the typical type of ending for this type of story collection. I'm put in mind of, things like The Mortuary Collection. Is that the name of the movie that came out relatively recently? Another one that I can't think of the name of. Man, I apologize. But, these types of movies where you have someone telling stories to someone else, and then if there's always a thing at the end. Once those stories are done, and we get back to those characters, the person telling the story, the people being told the stories, there's always something. A little, I hate to say twist, but that's what my hand is doing. It's twisting. So we have that at the end. It's very much like those types of movies. So I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. It didn't blow me away. All 3 stories were written well. I think I liked the Renee Miller story the most. What is it? Just Another Pretty Face. I think that was my favorite. I am a fan of Stephen Graham Jones. Haven't read a huge amount by him, but definitely reading more. I have plenty of his books. So his was fine. I think it was maybe the creepiest. And the last story was interesting. I liked some of the twists and turns. Did it have twists? I guess it kind of had twists and turns, but it was the Renee Miller story that I enjoyed the most. But this book didn't blow me away. So 3 out of 5, 3 on Goodreads is I liked it. So yeah, and it's not a bad start for the Rewind or Die collection. I have a few more to read. I've already read a few. Now I'm just reading them in order. Not that it matters. They're all, for the most part, not connected to each other in any way. I know of at least one that I've read that has a sequel, so obviously those are connected. But the rest, I could read them in the order, but why not read them in the order they came out? So, yeah, if you want to have a good throwback kind of time, go ahead and read The Midnight Exhibit, Volume 1. So far, I've enjoyed all of the Rewind or Die books that I've read. They are very much throwback kind of books. Feel like, 80s kind of stuff, even though they don't necessarily take place in the 80s. There's cell phones in this, but they have that feel, and I enjoy that. Nostalgia. Everybody loves it. So there you go. That is The Midnight Exhibit Volume 1 by Stephen Graham Jones, Philip Fracassi, however you say his name, Renee Miller. Yeah, pick it up, read it, enjoy it. Let me know what you think. So, if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on the Low Budget Review Show. My question for this video is, how do you like this kind of anthology? And it's something we see more in movies than in books. So do you enjoy those types of movies? Again, I can't... Oh, what is the name? They just had a third one. There's the series where it's at a funeral home. The first one. And the funeral director, or whatever he is, tells these stories to these gangbangers. I think they're gangbangers. And he's telling them these stories. And then there was a second one that... I can't remember where the second one took place. And then a third one just came out recently. I do not know why I can't think of them. And then there was the one with Clancy Brown, which might just be called Mortuary, but I feel like it was Mortuary Collection. I think it was a Shudder original. But anyway, so the question is, do you like that kind of stuff? Do you like anthology films in general, I suppose? Yeah, they usually, in movies at least, they usually have some sort of wraparound, something that's tying everything together. And typically when we talk about anthologies, as far as books, it's just a collection of short stories by different authors. Sometimes there's a theme. They might all be mimicking drive-in movies or have to do with things that happen at drive-in movies. Or it could be all zombie stories or all vampire stories. But sometimes there's no theme. It's just, hey, here's some cool stories by some cool authors. So this is, a little different because it has that wraparound. It's more like one of those movies. So what do you think of those things? Do you have a favorite one? And what is the 3-movie series that I'm trying to think of? Why can't I think of the name of it? Please help me. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comics, board games, and fuzzy animals, is EricSmith5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. That's all I've got. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.